Hello students, it's Mr. Lacey here again. How are you?
Mister, I have done absolutely no work all year. But I would like you to make a YouTube video. I'm so sorry that I disrupted your class every day for the past 10 months. Please make another video so that you have no free time.
Yeah, boy.
Mister, could you please make another YouTube maths video? We really need it because this is the most important exam in the world, ever.
Mister, what topics are going to be on the exams? Is it Puma? Mister, I hate Puma exams. Have you seen the exam papers? Mister.
Bruh.
Sir, I demand that you make another YouTube video. It would be so helpful to me. By the way, why are you always late for class, mister?
Enough with the stupid questions. Okay, I will make another video for you. Listen carefully and focus. The mysteries of the universe are about to be revealed. Enjoy. By the way, I have set you some rather difficult questions about the circle. It's on Google Classroom. Have a look if you would like to get better at mathematics.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Alright, here we go. So this is the revision 2 booklet. So the first one, we just convert these. I'm going to do this quickly because it's quite late. So that implies, it doesn't imply anything. We just rewrite it. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So it's 5/3, plus 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. 11 quarters. So that equals, we'll get the denominators to be the same. So we multiply above and below. On the left hand side, we'll multiply by 4. So we're going to times 4 times 4. And on the right hand side, it'll be times 3. So our denominator will be 12. Common denominator. So that equals 20 over 12 plus 33 over 12. And that equals 53. Oops, that equals 53 over 12. And that equals 4 and 5 over 12. That's it. Alright, done. So we move onwards. Next one, easy. 2 times x is 2x. There you go. And 2 times -3, -6. This one, you do it a couple of ways. I tidied the bracket first, so I said that equals 5 times 4x plus 2. That equals 20x plus 10. Okay, so we move on, because 5 times 4x is 20, 5 times positive 2 is positive 10. And that's that. Okay, there we go. Right, next one. So 7c squared plus f. So we have to replace c with -2 and f with 5. So we just do this. So we go q equals 7, put a bracket around the -2 squared plus 5. That equals 7 times 4. 2 times 2 is 4, minus times minus is positive, plus 5. That equals 28 plus 5. That's 33. Irish people's favorite number, 33. Okay, so this one, you do this on your calculator. I mean, you could nearly do this without a calculator. 21 squared is 441. So 2.1 squared is 4.41. And then we go -2 all over 5 plus 2. So that equals 2.41 divided by 7. Okay, you can just do this with your calculator. So the answer that you get should be 0.344. So just write down all the digits on your calculator. On my phone, it's this. Okay, we move on. Give your answer to part A to 2 decimal places. So we just go to this, okay, second decimal place, which is here. 1, 2. Look to the right, it's 4. That means we round down. So your answer is going to be 0.34. Okay, next one. Product of powers of its prime factors. So let's get its prime factors. 108. Smallest prime number is 2 times 54 times 2 times 27, 3 times 9, 3 times 3. So we can see that our prime numbers 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. So we have 108 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. And that equals 2 squared times 3 cubed. So the answer is 2 squared times 3 cubed. So they're the prime factors and in the power form. Find the highest common factor between 108 and 12. Well, we already know 108 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. So let's find out for 12. Straightforward. 12. So 2, 6, 2, 3. So we can see 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. So you can clearly see what's common. Well, it's 2 times 2 times 3 and 2 times 2 times 3. Now if you want, if you really want, you can do a Venn diagram. It's unnecessary here, but we can go ahead. So this can be for 12, and then obviously 8 or 108 is on the other side. So what are the common factors what's the question? Well, we can see it's 2 times 2 times 3, right? So it's 2, 2, 3. What's left? 3 and 3 over here. See the HCF is obviously this, 2 times 2 times 3. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. So 12 is the highest common factor, because 12 into 12 goes once, and 12 into 108 goes 9 times. Okay, next one. Let's do this. So we're going to have 5x, 5 times x, and then 5 times positive 3, positive 15, equals 3x minus 3. So I usually take the smallest x across, okay? Because otherwise you're going to get negative x's, which is not a big deal, but just at this stage in your development, just if you're into the moving, just move the 3x, comes negative 3x. So what we're going to get is 5x minus 3x is 2x. So that implies. Okay, and we still have plus 15 equals. The 3x has gone across and we're just left with negative 3. Now let's move the 15 across, becomes negative 15. And what you're going to get is 2x equals minus 3 minus 15, so we have 18 negatives altogether. That implies x equals minus 9. So it's that. Move on. Did I just skip too much? No. Alright, 200 counters in a bag. 35% are blue, a quarter are red, or sorry, a fifth are red. Work out the number of yellows. Okay, cool. So you got blue, red, yellow, and they all add up to 200, which is fine. We know 35% are blue. We know 1/5 are red, and then we just have yellow. Now, 35% of 200, so 35 over 100. 35%. 5 by 200. Bang, 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 bang. 35 times 2 is 70. So that, we're going to have 70. Okay, 1/5 of 200. 1/5 times 200. Okay, divide by 5, we get 4. So it's 40. It says 40. That's y. We can say y plus 70 plus 40 equals 200. That implies y equals 200 minus 110, because these add together to give you 110. That's 90. That's that. We move on. Factorize w squared minus 8w. Okay, first thing, what do we have in common? Well, we w's. This is w squared, but this just has a single w. So it's going to be w. Second, any numbers in common? No. So that's it. So only letters in common are w and no numbers. So what do we multiply w by to get w squared? Well, w. What do we multiply w by to get negative 8w? Well, it's negative 8, right? And that's it. So w times w is w squared. W times negative 8, negative 8w. Simplify this. I know so many people make mistakes on this. So we have a times a, which is a cubed. And we have b times b, which is b squared. Your answer is a cubed, b squared. We move on. 2 marks, easy peasy there. A plane has a length of 73 meters. A scale model of 1 to 200 is made. Work out the length of the scale model. Okay. So how can we do that, is the question. Well, the answer to that is this. There's a couple of ways you can do this. What I would do, I'd convert the meters into centimeters first. They want the answer in centimeters. So 73 meters equals 7,300 centimeters. If you don't know, let's go kilometers, meters, centimeters, oops a daisy, centimeters, millimeters. If you're comfortable with doing it from smaller to bigger, that's fine. So how do we go from one to the other? So here, here, here. Okay, so multiply by 100. Multiply by 10. What am I saying? Multiply by 1,000, multiply by 100, multiply by 10, excuse me. So this is kind of counterintuitive because a kilometer is actually, so we're going this way. So a kilometer is actually 1,000 times bigger than this, right? But it looks like we're saying the opposite, but anyway. That's that. And to go from millimeters, centimeters, obviously divide is the exact opposite. Divide by 100 and divide by 1,000. You don't have to write this down, it's just to explain. So that's why 73 meters to centimeters, multiply by 100, fine. Scale model is 1 to 200, that means it's 200 times smaller. So the actual size is going to be 7,300 divided by 200. They cancel. That equals 36.5. So that's your answer. Done. Next one. Mr. Abdullah buys a garden spade. Alright. So 120 reals. Mr. Abdullah has a reduction of 5%. Well, maybe the price has a reduction. I don't know if he gets reduced by 5%. Anyway, the price is reduced by 5% for Mr. Abdullah. So, what's the new cost? There's a few ways of doing this. You could say 10% equals 12. So that means 5% equals 6. Then you say 120 minus 6 equals 114. You could go like 5 over 100 times 120. They cancel. So that equals 60 over 5. Or sorry, 60 over 10. That equals 6. Same thing, 120 minus 6 equals 114. Another way, this would, in the future, this would be the best way to go, but especially with a calculator, but maybe not in this case. Because we've reduced by 5%, we now have 95% left, which is 0.95, and you can just multiply that by 120, and I'll give you 114. But anyway, there's a whole host of ways of doing that. Mr. Abdullah again makes some compost, and he makes 75 liters of it in the ratio 3:1:1, 3:1:1. That's soil, manure, and leaves. Okay, so soil, manure, and leaves. So we have to find how many liters of soil does he. I thought I was writing my family name there. How many liters of soil does he use? So liter, it doesn't mean that it's a liquid. Liter is just like a space, a measure of space. Okay. So let's go. How many parts do we have altogether? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, and they equal 75 liters. What would one part equal? Well, one part is going to be 75 divided by 5. That's equal to 15 liters. Okay, so we have 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. How many liters of soil? Well, it's 3 parts, so it's 3 times 15, which is 45 liters. 45, that's it. Mr. Abdullah has 200 flower seeds. The probability of successfully producing a flower is 0.8. Give an estimate for the number of flowers. So if the probability of flowering is 0.8, it's going to be 200 times 0.8, and that equals 160. Okay, now here we go. Line on the grid, find the equation of the line. The general equation of a line is y equals mx plus c. And we know that the gradient, so that's how sloped the line is, how steep it is. The gradient is m. And we know that the y-intercept, so where it hits the y-axis, is c. So any line can be described by its slope and where it hits the y-axis. Okay, so where does this hit the y-axis? Well, it's easy. It hits at -1. So we already have y equals something x minus 1, because c is -1. Now we have to get the gradient. So m, there's a few ways. M equals delta y, the change in y over the change in x, or it's rise over run, whatever you want to call it. How far across, how far up, down, over how far across, or that's change in y, change in x. Or, so delta is the representation of change or difference in y, difference in x. What's the last one? y2 minus y1. Is this a good formula to learn? Or x2 minus x1. Difference in y, difference in x, change in y, change in x. So we pick 2 points that we know. Well, we know this point already, and can choose that one. Maybe it's too easy. Let's choose this one. So we need to know m equals which one we choose. How far up, down, over how far across. Okay. So let's go across 1, 2, We just go 2 steps across. So 1, 2, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So it's 2 steps across and then minus 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and we have a minus, so it's minus 2. So the answer is y equals minus 2, x minus 1. That is it. Moving on, another super easy question here. The probability of taking a sweet of a particular color at random is shown in the table. So we have 4 different colors of sweets. Noura is going to take 1 sweet at random from the box. What's the probability she takes orange? Well, we know the sum of all probabilities is always 1. So if you want to be technical, it's the sum of all probabilities from, how would you write this? From n equals 1 to whatever. From n equals 1 to whatever the limit is. Let's say, in this case, 4 equals 1. Okay, that might look like gobbledygook to you right now. This just means the sum of all probability, so from the first probability to the 4th is equal to 1. Okay, that might confuse you, so don't worry about it. Basically, it means all of these numbers should add to 1. So here we go. 0.25 plus 0.1 plus 0.3. What we call this? X plus x equals 1. Think about it. If you flipped a coin, the probability of heads is a half. And what's the probability of tails? Also a half. Half plus a half is 1. So this is always the case. So we're going to have these added together, so that implies 0.65 plus x equals 1. That implies x equals 1 minus 0.65. So that's 0.35. 35%, 35 over 100, 7 over 20, whatever you want. Alright, next one. Diagram shows Miss Mariam's living room. She's going to cover it with floorboards. Each pack is 2.5 meters squared. How many packs of floorboards will she need? Okay, so we need to work out the area. There's 3 definite ways I can see of doing this. You could split it vertically, horizontally, or you could get the large rectangle and take away the small rectangle. I'm going to split it vertically here. So if this area is 10, because it's 5 times 2. Okay, so if that's 2, that means that distance has to be 4 meters, right? Because from here to here is 6. So that's 2, and we've 4 left. 4 times 2 is 8. So we know the area equals 18 meters squared. We know each pack covers 2.5 meters. So the number of packs equals 18 divided by 2.5. So that equals 7.2 packs. And of course we have to buy, we can't buy 0.2 of a pack, so it's 8 packs. We have to buy 8 packs, so we'll have 0.8 left over. Next one. We are asked to reflect S in the line y equals x. Well, y equals x, what is that? A lot of people get confused. Well, when y is 1, x is equal to 1. Let's pick another number. Say y is 4, x is equal to what? 4. Y is 0, x is 0. Okay, so let's just go to those points on the grid. So it's going to be 1, 1, which is here. 4, 4, which is here. And obviously 0, 0. You only really need 2 points to draw a line, but it's good to put 3 just to check that you didn't make a mistake. So that line is going to look something like this. So that's the line y equals to x. Now, next, we are asked to reflect the triangle S. So all you do, we have to go parallel or sorry, perpendicular to the mirror line, which is this. So to go perpendicular, we go half a diagonal. So we go half a diagonal on the other side. So just measure from here. Pick a second point here. So we go one diagonal. We go one diagonal on the other side. Last point here, we go 1.5. So we go a half and 1. That's here. So you'll get this kind of a triangle. Alright, and we were told to call that, I think, R. So there's R. Fine. Done. Draw it with a ruler, of course. I just don't want to waste time. Translate the triangle S. So that's the original triangle. It's not the new one. So watch out for that. They might ask you to like translate the reflected shape or something. In that case, do it to the new one. But here they're saying triangle S, which is the original. So vector -4, -6. So we always got XY, these vectors. -4. So it's telling us to push it across to the left by 4. -6 and down by 6. So let's go to each point here. So let's just zoom in a bit. So we go across 4 to left. I'll just move that over. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 6, which will bring us here. Now we go to this point, across 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 6, which will bring us here. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then you just draw in your new shape there, like that. Draw it with a ruler, and I think that's called T. And that's that. Okay, we move on. Cuboid made of plastic. Work out the surface area, total surface area. How on earth are we going to do that? Okay, so we get the front, the top, and the side. So the front area is 23 times 12. The top area is 23 times 10. And the side is 10 times 12. Okay, so 23 times 12 is 276, and that's 230, and the side is 120. So you can add all these together. 276 and 230 is 506, plus 120 is 626. Now that's what we can see, but we have the front and the back, so we'll have to double that. With the top and the bottom, so we'll have to double that. And we have the right hand side and the left hand side, so we'll have to double that. We'll have to double it all. So we're going to double that. So it's going to be 626 times 2. That equals 1252. So that's going to be our answer. You can do it individually if you want. You could double this, so you get 552. You could double this one and you get 460, and you could double this and you get 240, and you could just add them all together. That's totally fine. I just don't have time to kind of do it all. Okay, next one. Semicircle with diameter 20. Work out the perimeter of the semicircle. So the perimeter is this and that. Don't forget that. A lot of people seem to forget that. Now, use the value of pi from your calculator. Okay. So what is the circumference of a circle? Circumference of a circle. Circumference equals 2 pi r. But here we only have half a circle, so it's 2 pi r over 2, or pi r. Okay, so it's pi r. That's circumference. That's specifically the curved area. Now the perimeter is the circumference plus the diameter. So it's pi r, which is this. Okay. And I'll actually put this in blue just so you can differentiate. Put in nicer. Alright. So that's there. Now the diameter is 20, right? So it's pi r plus 20. So that's that. So that equals pi times, oh, what's r? Well, if the diameter is 20, the radius is 10. So it's 10 pi plus 20. So that's 51.4159. Okay, 3 decimal places. We go, it's a third, look to the right, it's 9, so it goes up, so it's 51.416 centimeters. Done. Moving on. We have, well, what I don't have tonight is my mouse, which is irritating, because I can't pan. Anyway, there we go, let's see, oh, that's a bit better. So a light bulb box measures 8 centimeters by 80 millimeters by 10 centimeters. Well, the first thing, I don't like this, so let's change it to the same unit, centimeters. So it's going to be 8 centimeters. Light bulb boxes are packed into cartons. A carton measures 40 by 40 by 60 centimeters. Work out the number of light bulb boxes, small ones, which can fit into one of these cartons. So we need to get the volume of this and see how many times it divides into the volume of that. So the volume of this light bulb box is 8 times, remember we said that was 8 centimeters. So it's 8 times 8 times 10. That equals 64 times 10 is 640 centimeters cubed. Cubed because there's 3 dimensions. Up, across, and back and forward, okay? Up, down, left, right, back, forward, 3 dimensions. Same here. So this one, we're gonna have 40 times 40 times 60. So if you're very good, you know, 4 times 4 is 16, times 6 is 96. So that equals 96. And we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. And it's centimeters squared. Cubed, excuse me. I'm too tired. I've been doing maths all day since 6 this morning. Okay, here we go. And it's 8:20 now. Okay, to find how many of these go into these, so we're going to have 9, 6, 0, 0. And we're going to divide that by 6, 4. Now, if you're very good, and I know you're all very good, you'll know that 64 and 96 are connected because 64 divided by 32 is 2. 96 divided by 32 is 3. So anyway, so there's 2 32s in 64 and there's 3 in 96. Anyway, we don't care. That cancels with that. If you didn't know that, I mean, you could divide by whatever, 4, 8. Well, I'm going to divide by 32 because I know it goes into that twice and I know it goes into that 3 times. So I have 300 on the top and I've only 2 on the bottom, and that equals 150. Alright, so that's it. 150 cartons, or light bulb boxes fit into a carton. Alright. Fatima recorded the number of emails she received each day for 21 days. The stem and leaf diagram shows this info. Find the median number. Alright, so the median number of emails that she received. So median is the middle number, okay? Mediterranean, you know, the Mediterranean Sea in Europe is like the middle sea, okay? Medium is like the middle. So median equals, let's say the median position. So the position of the median. So where in this list is the median? So what it is n plus 1 over 2, where n is the number of values. So we have 21 values here, because 21 days. So it's 21 plus 1 over 2. and that equals 22 over 2, and that equals 11. So it's the 11th position. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, the 11th position has a value of 1 and 2, which is 12. Done. Work out, so in other words, there are the same amount of numbers before this as after it, okay? So 12. Work out the range. The range is easy. It's the largest minus the smallest, so it's 26 minus 0 and 4. So minus 4, which equals 22. Okay, Aisha asked 30 teachers how many cups of coffee they each drank yesterday. Table shows the results. The number of cups. So this just tells you the amount of cups, because five teachers had no cups. So 5 times 0 is 0. So the number of cups times frequency. 9 times 1. 9 teachers had 1 cup of coffee, so the total number drank was 9. They drank was 9. 7 teachers had 2 cups, so the total number that they drank was 14. 4 had 3 cups, so 12, 12, and 10. So what we do now is close your eyes and say a prayer and hope that it's all done for you. No, you don't. What you do is this: you add up the frequency. So 5 plus 9 is 14, 21, 25, 28, 30. Okay, so the total is this. Totale. Okay, there we go. So the total, if you want to draw a table, whatever, or extend it. And here, 0 plus 9 is 9, 23, 35, 47, 57. So the way the mean is mean is 57 divided by 30. That equals, well, 57 divided by 3 is 19. So if you divide by 30, it's 1.9. So the mean is 1.9. All right, we're moving forward. We didn't really have to do this. I don't know what this is doing on it. But anyway, the diagram shows a solid object made of 6 identical, blah, blah, blah. On the grid, draw the front elevation. So that, looking from this way, well, if you look that way, you're only going to see that, 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 and that. I don't think this is going to come up. So you're just honestly, you can just draw wherever, it doesn't matter. You're just going to have something like this. Whatever. Make it pink. Yeah, so you're just going to see that. And then if you look, they're going to ask you then for the plan view. So the plan view is just the view from the top. Again, you don't really have to do this question. Probably just should have skipped it. So the view from the top, I mean, if you look down this way, that way, you're just going to see that and that, because you can't see that one. It's just going to be those two. So you can draw wherever, it doesn't matter. So if you do like architecture and stuff, this comes in handy. When I was at school, they had a subject called technical drawing or technical graphics, a bit like DT, except yeah, it's a bit more architectural based, I would say. Oh, there we go, I can pan. Okay, this is the star shape. Okay, question. So it has a rotational symmetry of order 5. That means when you rotate this 360 degrees, it will appear to be in the same position like 5 times. Okay. It's made from 5 congruent triangles. That means they're identically sized. The lengths are identical and the angles are identical. Jenny says angle A must be 72. Show your working to explain how she's correct. Okay, well if that's 72, if that's A, this is also A, this is also A, this is also A, and that's A. So if she's correct, correct. Then 360 divided by 5 equals A. Well, 360 over 5 equals 72. Yeah? That's true. 36 divided by 5 is 7. Carry 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that implies true. If you want, you can put QED. QED is Latin. This says it means quod erat demonstrandum. So when you do a proof, you do QED. Not sure if your teachers would know that or not. But anyway, and the new way to do it is put a little square with a squiggly line like that. What that means, quod erat demonstrandum, means it has been demonstrated or has been proven. Anyway, you don't really need to do it, but just you got to be passionate about this stuff. Okay, work out the size of angle B. All right. Well, we already figured out this is 72, didn't we? This is 72 degrees. This is 72 degrees. This is 72 degrees. Well, we have 80 there, don't we? We know that that's 80, so this has to be 80 degrees. So we know that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, so we know 180 equals 72 plus 80 plus B plus 80 plus B. That implies 180 minus 72. So 72 plus 80 is 152. So minus 152 equals B. So that means B is 28 degrees. They have a little degree. I don't know why they put it down there. Who could write that small? Anyway, that's that. We move forward to the last. I actually made this myself. Would you believe it? I'm quite proud of this. So here we go. Here are the first 5 terms from an arithmetic sequence. Find the nth term. Girls and boys, please, everybody get this question right. Don't switch them around the wrong way. Ready? Do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that looks a bit weird. So what's the difference each time? Plus 7, okay, plus 7. First thing you do, write down 7n. That's it. Now, second thing, you go backwards one step, and it's not going to be plus 7 because we're going in reverse, so it's minus 7. 4 minus 7 is minus 3. And that's that. Done. Do not put minus 3n plus 7. Please do the little forward arrows, and that's your n term. And then do the other one. Easy as pie. Next one. What are this? Okay, so I'm going to do a couple here for you. So what are the... They might ask you this. Let's say this. They might ask you what are the first, second, third, fourth, whatever text. My computer's gone a bit weird on me. Okay, so they might say, what are the first... Okay, so in this case, it's very obvious what the first 3 terms are, but I just wanted to show you how to do it. First 3 terms in the sequence. Now, we've already been given these, right? But I just want to show you how it's done. I'm going to leave this. All right, there. What are the first 3 terms in the sequence? Right. So I'm going to do the red bit first, okay? So let's have a go. First 3 terms in the sequence, well, you get 7n minus 3. So the first term is for every sequence ever existed is n equals 1, because n is the position of the term. So for n equals 1, it's going to be 7 times 1 minus 3, which equals 4. N equals 2, which is the second term. 7 times 2, minus 3, which equals 14 minus 3, which is 11. N equals 3. 7 times 3, which is 21, minus 3, which is 18. What do you know? 4, 11, 18, 4, 11, 18. Okay, now let's get to this question. What are the 98th, 99th, and 100th terms? So we're going to do n equals, let's start at 100, n equals 99, n equals 98. So we're going to have, well, let's just bring that over. I really wish I had my mouse. Anyway, here we go. 7 times 100 minus 3. Well, that's 700 minus 3, which is obviously 697. And obviously these are going to be 7 less. But anyway, I'll do it out nevertheless. So 7 times 99 minus 3. So what you'll find, that gives you 690. And 7 times 98 minus 3, and what you'll find is that gives you 683. Cool, that's that. Is 285 a term in the sequence? Well, that's a great question. 7n minus 3 is our nth term. So if this is a number in the sequence, then there should be some whole number, a positive whole number, greater than 0, so in other words, a natural number, which n should be. So for example, if you solve this for n, so we're going to say that equals, let's say 285, okay. So if this is a number in the sequence, we should get a whole number answer for n when we solve it. So that implies 7n equals 288. That implies n equals 288 over 7, and that equals 41 1/7. So because this is not a whole number, therefore 285 is not in sequence, not in that sequence, whatever. Not in sequence. We don't like writing too many letters or words in maths. Last question, which a lot of people were bamboozled by, which is actually quite simple. Here are the first 5 terms in a different sequence. Notice, from 2 to 2 is 0, 2 to 0 is 2, 0 to minus 4 is minus 4, minus 4 to 10, minus 10 is minus 6. So it's not arithmetic. It's not the same difference every time. Don't worry about that. We're told an expression for the nth term is this. So they're telling you what the nth term is. Now below we have another sequence. And it says write down in terms of n an expression for the nth term of this sequence. How can you do that? Because let's check again. 4 to 4 is 0, plus 0, minus 4, minus 8, minus 12. Now, there is actually a pattern if you go again, but anyway. This is not a linear sequence, it's not arithmetic, okay? Because it's not the same difference every time. So what's the connection, if we just look at these, what is the connection between the bottom sequence and the top sequence? How are they connected? Is there some relationship between them? And yes, there is, because we got 2, 4, 2, 4, 0, 0, minus 4, minus 8, minus 10, minus 20. The bottom sequence is double the value of the top, right? 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. So we see this double, right? So we're going to have 3n squared, 3n minus n squared, excuse me, that represents the top row. The bottom sequence is double that, so we're going to multiply it by 2. And we get 2 times 3n is 6n. 2 times negative n squared is negative 2n squared. So your answer is 6n minus 2 negative n squared. Now, you might not believe me, so let's check. Let's say the fourth term, n equals 4. Let's check it. So we're going to have 6 times 4 minus 2 times 4 squared. And that equals 24 minus 2 times 16. Not quite the end, but anyway, that equals 24 minus 32. And that equals minus 8. Let's look for the fourth term. 1, 2, 3. Boom. That is it. End of exam. QED.